Hello, my name is Dr. Matthew Bartlett. I'm one of the chiropractors here at Circle City Chiropractic, and I am a 2013 graduate of Palmer College of Chiropractic.
Hello, my name is Nancy Lamb. Same as Dr. Bartlett, I went to the same school, Palmer College in Davenport, and graduated in 2016.
So what we're going to do here today is talk more so about why we both had gotten into chiropractic and share some personal stories as to why we were led to the profession. And if Dr. Lamb, you don't mind, I'll go ahead and go first and share my story.
Sounds good.
Alright, so this hits home at two different ways. First I'll share my personal experience, and then I will share the experience that my family had as well, and in particular my mother. So when I was 18, in my undergraduate's weight room, I was really big into weightlifting, and I had injured my back doing some deadlifts. Very poor form and some heavy weight, and right when I had felt the injury happen, I felt a muscle pull in my back. And at that point I had noticed I was unable to turn my head to the left at that point. So this really had affected my life, and I felt very dangerous being able to move around on campus because where I had gone to school, parallel parking was something that you had to do. So I felt like it was very difficult to do to be able to look out in my blind spot, or to be able to even park my vehicle effectively, or to even be able to drive on the road. And I had sought the help of a chiropractor locally there, and which I thought was amazing is that he had adjusted my middle back, and I was able to start turning my head again to the left. And most people wouldn't think that that would even link together. Most people would think, oh, you have a pull on your middle back, or then you would have to get adjusted there, or if you had a hard time turning your head, you would need to get your neck adjusted. But he never had even adjusted my neck. He adjusted the middle of my back, and I was able to get my full range of motion back into my neck that way, which I felt was amazing. Just getting to see and to experience personally how interconnected the human body actually is. And my own mother's experience, she had a frozen shoulder post-surgery when she had her rotator cuff repaired, and she was doing therapy left and right and not seeing any improvement. She had lots of limitation in her range of motion and was not getting it back. So we had feared that she would never have the full strength or full range that she would like to have. And it was her also seeking the help of a chiropractor that had adjusted her neck that allowed her to get near full range of motion within 24 hours, and which I thought was absolutely amazing. And I was questioning this chiropractor some more just to learn more about this, and he was talking about the nervous system, how we're all interconnected this way, and how the nervous system controls and coordinates every function in our body. And that's what the disconnect was with her. It wasn't that her shoulder structurally needed adjusting or anything like that. It was because neurologically her brain wasn't able to send the proper messages down to the shoulder that way to allow it to work properly and get the full range of motion. And when she got adjusted, she had that full range, and it was back to normal again. Just after getting to see those two experiences there, I had to look into being a chiropractor myself, being how it helped myself and my family, and that's where I looked to start at Palmer College of Chiropractic, and I started that following summer about 5-6 months later, and it's been all history since then.
Wow. My story is a little different. I've always wanted to be a doctor growing up, ever since grade school, because just watching TV, being able to impact people, the adrenaline, the surgery, the medication, but that all changed after my own personal experience with my father. So my dad was sick one day. We took him to the family doctors, and I was a junior or sophomore in high school. And during that time, you put a lot of trust into your doctor. They know what they're doing. They know what the body's supposed to do and what they can do to help. But in my father's case, the doctor prescribed, basically diagnosed him with sinus infection and gave him his antibiotics and told him to take it for that 7 to 10 days, which was fine. But a couple of days later, my sister and I noticed that something else was wrong with my dad. Like, he wasn't able to hold his heads up, can't grasp onto things, his cup, his toothbrush. And so we ended up taking him to the ER instead, and this was July 4th actually. And from that, instead of, it wasn't a sinus infection that was causing his issue, it was actually stroke. He actually had a stroke. And so before we even went to the ER, we called the family doctor one more time saying, hey, something else is wrong, can we just get him in? And the response from the receptionist was, he's been in here for 2 days. 2 days ago, he has his antibiotics. Let it, stay home, let it take his course, go from there. But in the end, it was a stroke, and that's really devastating. Because while you're in the ER, I'm sure many people has been in the ER, that you wait 30 to 40 minutes before you see your medical doctor. And then another guy comes in, and then another person comes in. And all these specialists is just like, you look at the chart and it's like, okay, you have this, here's your medication, here's your medication. That did not really help my dad. He's a strong man of 6 kids, and it comes from all the medication that he's taken. It kind of just deteriorated his life to the end that he ended up dying from a stroke. That experience changed my life, how I view what a doctor should be, because I will never want to be a person that just like, okay, next person, next person, next person. I will, obviously as a doctor now, I will never turn my back and say, I saw you earlier, just let it take its course. I'm going to take you right back in. I'm going to figure out what's really going on. So I didn't know anything about chiropractic. I've never seen one either until I actually went to school there. And I just remember like researching, I saw a link on chiropractic, so I went and looked at it, and I fell in love with what it was, being able to help the body naturally through my hands, through just adjusting it and guiding that nervous system to function the way it should be. So without anything, I didn't hesitate. I went to Palmer right away, and I like shadowed, and within the next week, I applied and enrolled in 2012. So that's how I'm here now. It's the best decision ever. Other things, the things that I've experienced and all that. I can also remember this moment as that I was an intern at Palmer. I had a patient that actually recently, had a stroke, and so his whole left side was not functioning. The exam took me 3 hours. My gosh, I was one nervous kid. And before I even adjusted him, I had to tell him I had to wait because a part of me was still afraid that he was having a stroke out on the table. So I went and grabbed my doctor that was overseeing me, who was Dr. Opelt. And he was like, no, he's fine. It's just residual effects of his stroke. So this guy coming in with his wife that can't talk, can't grasp, and kept drooling 3 months later of care with just me adjusting, he was able to talk. He was able to walk. And in the end, he turns around and says, like, I actually worked at this school. I know how these tables work. He worked for the school, and I didn't even know that because I could not communicate with him. And the day that, I tell him that I had to leave because I was graduating, he turns to the doctor, and he turns back to me. He holds my hand. He's like, I would never been able to be who I am right now without your help. I did nothing. All I did was just guide his body through adjustments. So it's powerful. It's more than just neck pain and back pain. There's so much more to chiropractic.
Absolutely, that's a very powerful story you just shared with us there, Dr. Lom. Just to talk upon that point, typically people pin us as neck pain and back pain doctors, but there's so much more that we can do and how we can help you out. Chiropractic has touched our lives both personally here through the patients we've taken care of and our own personal stories and our family. If this is something you'd like to learn more about, we have 2 convenient locations here in the Indianapolis metropolitan area. I'm at our Carmel Westfield office, and Dr. Lom here is down here at our Indianapolis office over here in Castleton. Feel free to log on to our website at www.circlecitychiropractic.com if you'd like to learn more personally about us, and if you'd like to find out if there's a way that we'd be able to help you and your family out as well.